Seedcamp is an invigorating experience.
The network here is absolutely amazing.
Seedcamp is the best event I've been to.
Really intense and exhausting.
It's definitely been beneficial to us.
Seedcamp is amazing.
Seedcamp is inspiring.
Today's focus is really on growth. As opposed to Founders Day on Monday and Product Day on Tuesday, we've focused really on bringing investors and people that have done a lot of biz dev to help companies with how they grow their company, how they grow sales, how they grow their staff. Today's been a day similar to other structures. We've had the companies talk about themselves for 5 minutes.
I'm Thomas from Voxeo, and we are revolutionizing telephony.
We want to build the greatest painting experience ever, and we want your feedback on it. Thank you very much.
Hello, Alessandro Rizzoli from Mopap, Italy. Mopap, the easy analytics for all mobile applications.
Morning, I'm Stephen and this is Dan. We run crashpadder.com.
And then we had a great masterclass from Martin Warszawski, who obviously founded Phone, and who's had many other ventures. He had some very colorful stories around some of the pitfalls he had and how he financed his own company out of a very, very tricky situation. And I think that's very inspirational to see how much you can commit to an enterprise.
When I saw cloud computing take off 2 years after I lost my 35 million, it felt painful, you know, like really painful, you know. I was like, ugh, it hurt. I'm going to stick with phone. Anyone who likes something in this room, everyone else is probably going to like it 5 years later. Okay, that's what I'm learning about the things I tend to like.
The history of phone is a history of tenacity, but it's also a story of adapting to a changing environment with the same idea. So I was impressed with tiny countries that seem to come up with great ideas and great people like Estonia, Slovenia.
And what's really cool this year is that we have a strong representation from Estonia, from Slovenia, from Italy. And what's interesting is that in the past, it was more concentrated around the key hubs around London, and that's increasingly changing. Actually, as a matter of fact, we have 1/3 of our companies come from Eastern Europe, and I think we're increasingly seeing a greater depth in geography in the companies we see, both for investment and also just attending our events.
I'm from Moscow, I'm based in Boston.
We're from Finland.
I'm from Slovenia.
We're a team of 3 founders from Vienna, Austria.
And we're based out of Halifax, Nova Scotia, which is in Canada.
Co-founder of a London-based startup called Fractal.
And I'm from Singapore originally, and I live in the UK.
Dave McClure obviously was one of the founders of 500 Startups. He basically is spearheading a lot of the revolution in financing in Silicon Valley. And so his masterclass today is going to focus around that.
I've been a geek, I've been an entrepreneur, I've been a marketer, I've been an angel investor. More recently, I'm a venture capitalist, which I hate to admit, but I think the difference now is that I'm professionally managing other people's money, the fools. What's kind of interesting is that there are now 5, 6, maybe even 7 major platforms, most of them global or at least Western economies in the US and the EU, where this provides a lot more choice for developers and actually a ton more user acquisition and distribution vehicles than ever before.
When I was starting Betfair, there was no place where I could come and talk to lots of people who were doing it or who had done it, and I think it's fantastic that there's this resource and you can come and listen to lots of good people. What I found out today is that there are some tremendously exciting ideas out there.
I'm really impressed with the quality at Seedcamp this year. I mean, a bunch of the sort of founders have a lot more experience than they've ever had. The ideas are much more creative and interesting. So I'd say overall it's probably one of the best years.
So the energy has not waned at all throughout the week, and I think a halfway point is always an interesting one, but I think the next 2 days are going to be very telling of the quality of mentorship that the companies have received the last 3 days.